Okay, so we're recording now. Okay, so what I want to share with you is 3 keys to prospecting success, okay? Now, I'll tell you, this was actually something that they talked to us about at convention, and so it's a little bit of something that I learned, so a few things that I learned at convention, along with some things I've learned from some books I'm reading right now, some things I learned at the training I just went to, and then a little bit of some stuff that I've learned just on my business journey so far. So it's all kind of combined. So it's good information. So 3 keys to prospecting success. And I'm going to tell you right now that this is not going to be a call where I'm going to go over how to talk to people, okay? Like how to prospect with them and how to get them to, how to close the sale. That could possibly be for another night. If that's something you guys are interested in, let me know. But this is going to be a little bit different, okay? Very good information. If you want, take out a notepad or your phone if you want to take notes. I've got all my notes here, so if I'm looking down, that's why I've got everything. I've got an outline here, and I don't want to miss anything, okay? All right, so 3 keys to prospecting success. Number 1 is to grow yourself. So grow or go is something that they told us in our training session at convention, is to grow or go. Change is inevitable, but growth is optional. That's something that John Maxwell states, and change is inevitable. It's going to happen, but during that time when change is happening and time is passing, are you going to be willing to grow, or are you just going to stay where you are, and not go anywhere in your business? A little bit of a reminder, your team, all of our teams, our growth is going to depend on the willingness or unwillingness to work. It simply depends on our willingness or our unwillingness to work. That's how our team is going to grow. So how do we grow? How do we grow? So how we're going to grow is to raise our lid. And I'm going to explain this a little bit more. What does that mean? So John Maxwell teaches this. If you guys don't know who he is incredible. I'm reading through one of his books now. I have quite a few of his books. They spoke about him a lot at convention. But this is what he teaches, to raise your lid. The leadership ability is the lid that determines a person's level of effectiveness. So the lower someone's ability is to lead, the lower their lid is on their potential. But the higher the individual's ability is to lead, the higher their lid is on his or her potential, okay? So whatever you accomplish is restricted by your ability to lead others. So we need to try to raise our lid so we can raise the effectiveness of our potential, how much potential we have basically to be effective leaders, pretty much. Teamwork makes the dream work. So how do we raise our lid? So I'm going to break it down for you. So first, you're going to work on leadership skills. Practicing what we preach, not just telling people that join you to work, but doing the work yourself. Connecting with people, making real connections when people join your team, not forgetting about them, but really having connections with them, training them, investing in them, being open to being coachable and open to learning, constantly learning. Something that Rita Davenport sent to us during her speech at convention was that school is always in session for the Plexus Ambassador. And I loved that because we need to constantly be learning. And that's how we're going to grow. Okay, the second way that we're going to raise our lid and to grow is to read books. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I personally can testify to this. Before I joined Plexus, I ordered Rock Your Network Marketing Business and GoPro before I even joined. But I knew I was about to join, so I went ahead and did it. And I remember they came in the mail, and then that day I called Ashley and joined. And I just was so excited about the books. I started reading and learning, and I knew what it would have to take for me to do my own kind of growth. Being someone who already had a college degree and, was in a master's program, I knew what it was going to have to take. But I started getting so wrapped up in all the other things that we all know is so easy, making sure I was just recruiting and training my people and doing this and that I completely just forgot about the importance of my self-development and taking the time to read books and invest in myself. And I will tell you that when I can look back on my journey and see kind of where I had a little bit of a lull, where I wasn't happy with where I wasn't taking the time to invest and to develop and read books, okay? So, you know, right now I'm reading this, John Maxwell, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. I just finished Making the First Circle Work, and now I'm reading Go for No. I'm always going to be reading a book, and I hope that you guys always are taking the time to read at least one book. We always need to be reading. So read books. You're going to be able to develop momentum. When you start reading books, then your team is going to appreciate hold on, let me mute here. Where can I, okay. When you're reading books, that's going to trickle down to the rest of your team. And they're going to understand the importance, and they're going to end up practicing that as well. So what are you guys reading right now? If you're not reading anything, I want to challenge you to get something to read, okay? I want to challenge you to start a book. All right. Share that with your teams. Be accountability partners for one another. It's just like school. Like I said, leaders are learners. Okay, so next, get involved with a group. So basically what this means is be really active in the team pages. You know, are you involved in the team pages? Are you encouraging? Are you keeping it a positive atmosphere and a positive place to be? If your team sees you interacting in the team pages very heavily, they're going to instantly do the same thing. They're going to model after you because they're going to see your excitement. They're going to see you're involved, and that's really all they're going to know to do. But if they see you not very involved, not really plugging into this group, this community that we have on our team, they'll do the same thing, and they just won't really care. Okay. Next, seek out amazing leaders. This is something that they were telling us at convention. So basically, you know, when we tell you to, when we join, we normally tell you, go ahead and follow, you know, this person, because they've done something right. They're incredible. But it's really important that you follow in their footsteps. You know, we do not have to reinvent the wheel. Thank goodness. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can follow them on Facebook, follow your leaders, Jana, Amber, Ashley, you know, follow them, and we just have to do what they're doing because they've done it right, you know, they've had success. Okay, so number 2, the second key way is grow your relationships. So who you attract is determined by who you are. So that's why we have to all raise our lids, because we do not attract the type of people we want. We attract the type of people we already are. So what kind of person do you want, and do you want to work with? Be that person. Do what it takes, whatever it takes to be that person. If that means that you need to read more books about leadership to be a better leader, do it. If you need to read more books about, you know, just talking to yourself, having affirmations, you know, maybe you just don't believe in yourself, do it. If you need to read a book about, you know, I've got all these books over here about how, you know, how to believe in yourself, or maybe just your mindset or your attitude. Find books about whatever it is that you feel like is your weakness and start developing in that area. And eventually you will be attracting people where your strengths are and how you want your team to grow. You know, we can all say that we would like to have people who are self-motivated and ready to go, and they're going to work from day one before they even get their products. But if we're not going to be willing to do the same thing, we're not going to attract people like that. We will not get any business builders on our team until we are what we want. Okay, it's very important. The key is to focusing on others. We are in a relationship marketing business. Our network is our relationships. So when you're reaching out with people and doing these prospects, lead with a relationship with someone. Listen to them when you're reaching out to them, and they will share with us what they really need, so that way we can show them how we can reach them. So when you're talking to them, you know, make sure that you're giving them a chance to share with you what it is that they are, what are they wanting? What are their health goals? What are their dreams? What are their desires? You know, have you noticed on Facebook that, you know, they just had a baby and they're going back to work and they're not happy about it? You know, be that friend to them. Lead with the relationship that you already have with them. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. That's something that they said, and that was something that I needed to hear, and I thought that was clever. But really, though, if we take more time to listen during this prospecting time, people are going to appreciate it more. And something that I always try to encourage people to do is, when you are talking with these prospects, make sure that you're ending the conversation or your portion of when you're talking back and forth with some kind of a question or some way that they're going to want to respond back to you. And when you are talking with them, listen more than you're talking, and also listen to understand them. Don't just listen to think, okay, what are they about to say, so I know how to respond, and you can form a response. Just let it flow naturally, but really, really genuinely listen to them, to understand them. Expand your network to make your relationships grow. There is no such thing as tapping out and having a tapped out network. I've heard it from a lot of people on our team, and there is no such a thing. If you feel like I'm lying or that you don't believe me at all, what I want you to do tonight or tomorrow, at least sometime this week, is I want you to go look up Sonia Dudley's Diamond documentary and Christy Hull. Guys, they come from a small town, way smaller than any of us come from. And I know for a fact because I know where you all are from. A lot of you are from where I'm from. So they come from smaller places than we come from. And to me, that kind of blows my mind, you know. But they're diamonds. They did it. Let's just think like Jana and Amber. They're sisters. Talk about like a tapped out network, right? You would think, I would think, if my, you know, even if my brother, let's say Zach was doing it and not Ashley, and, you know, we went to school with all the same people. Literally, we grew up with all the same people. And I would feel, but Jana and Amber are both diamond. Not, you know, one's diamond, one's silver. They are both diamond. They did it. And they grew up in the same household, same school, same friends, same network, and they still did it. So your network is never tapped out, not such a thing. If you start to feel that way, then that means that you are not willing to branch out of your comfort zone, and I want you to start thinking about branching out of your comfort zone. How can you do that? Talk to strangers. I know that that's scary at first, but get out there and talk to strangers. It can be so simple, just in a grocery store line. If you don't want to do that, join a mom's club. Go to a gym, you know, and go to the gym for a 30-minute class and be intentional about standing beside someone and talking to them afterwards about how they feel after the class. Little things like that. You have to expand your network. Eventually, our network on Facebook is going to be like our warm market. They're all going to hear about it at some time or another, whether it's through our Facebook posting or we've reached out to them all. We are going to reach them all. So we are going to have to tap out into other areas of our lives, which just, we're going to have to do it if we want to reach the top. But you never tapped out. There's way too many people on this earth for us to say that. Okay. So make people feel like they matter. That's another thing when you're reaching out to these people. Kind of goes into the listening, but make them feel like they matter and that they're not just a sale. So little ways you can do that by making sure you're not copying and pasting messages. Voice messages are a great way to do that. You know, I think Messenger is a lot of our, I'm looking around, main avenues of how we talk to people. And if you're doing that, that's fine. That's what I do, to be totally honest. But use a voice message. Make it sound a lot more personal. Then they know that you're really talking to them back and forth. You're not copying anything. Present the opportunity and the products to everyone. So you may be the answer to someone's prayers. This is something that they said to us in our training, and I wrote this down so big because it just meant a lot to me, because it's true. You could be the answer to someone's prayers. You know, when Ashley presented this to me, this was an answer to my prayers. And if you're feeling fearful when you're talking to people or even when you're meeting strangers, I want you to remind yourself that. And if you need to, write that down. I could be the answer to someone's prayers. It's very special. That's incredible. And don't prejudge anyone. I'll tell you this, that one of the first people who joined me said to me, well, I just don't need to work this because pretty much everyone I know is wealthy. They're pretty well off, so they don't need the business. And, I'm friends with a lot of the health nuts, so I really just don't think that I have a network for this. I don't think I should do this. And I'm going to tell you right now, it is not our job to prejudge any of these people. It is not our job to decide if these people need our products or our opportunity. It is our job to simply present it to them. That is it. It's not our job to think, oh, well, they don't need it. They're in their 60s, or they don't need it. They're just 18. She's probably healthy. It's not our job to do that. It's our job to present this to every single person that comes in our path. I truly believe that. And I'm going to tell you something. Rhonda Shaw was telling us this, Diamond Ambassador Rhonda Shaw. If you're not following her, go follow her. She was incredible. And she was telling us about her friend who was really popular on Facebook, and she seemed like she had it literally all together. Her family, it seemed like they didn't need money. It seemed like she was happy and energetic, but she decided to go ahead and present the opportunity anyway to her. And her friend is Bridget Ryan, Diamond Ambassador now. So just think, if Rhonda wouldn't have told her friend Bridget about this opportunity, and she would have which she said she did prejudge her, but she finally got over herself and presented it to her. But just think if she never would have. She was her first diamond underneath her. That's amazing. Her level 1 diamond, she would have not had that blessing. And Bridget would have joined someone else if Rhonda wouldn't have presented that to her. So we have to get over ourselves and don't prejudge anyone. And this opportunity could be for everyone. It's not for everyone, but it really could be. Okay. Number 3, the last key way for prospecting is grow your brand. This is something I never really thought about before convention, was my brand. What's my brand? But they talked about this, and it really made a lot of sense to me. So I want to share a little bit with you. We are a brand, and I say this to you guys a lot. We're like a walking billboard for Plexus. We really are. So how do we grow our brand? So Facebook is really our key. It's really our key tool here. Social media is such a blessing in our network marketing industry that we never need to make it a curse. And I'm going to tell you how you could do that. Don't become an infomercial for Plexus on your Facebook. It's really important that you're posting every single day, but posting every single day will not get you to be a diamond. I will tell you that. You need to post every day, but posting every day won't make you a diamond ambassador. Prospecting has to come first. That has got to be the very first thing that we are always doing. And that is why, we're kind of talking about this now as prospecting. But sharing consistently with our audience really is so important, and if you want people to take you seriously. But we have to also share our personal lives. Some people say they do like 70-30, personal and Facebook, or Plexus on their Facebook. Figure out what works for you, but just find a balance of how you want to brand. Okay, so this is what I want you to think about right now, talking about brands, because it might be something, new. It was kind of new to me. Think about Facebook and your friends like TV channels. So we have friends that we could think of that are probably like the Food Network, right? Like they post pictures of their dinner every night. Like I have friends like that. Every time they go out, they're like the Food Network to me. And then we have friends, I've got friends at least, who post like pictures of their home and it's beautiful, or like they're artsy and they post pictures of their crafts. They're like HGTV to me on my Facebook, okay? And I can just scroll through my news feed and I can see the different channels. So when people are scrolling through their news feed and they're changing the channels, going through friend to friend, what do they see when they look at you? What is your brand? I want you to try to decide tonight, what is my brand and what do I want my brand to be? And really work hard at your social media and how you are going to translate that to your audience and what you want to translate to your audience, okay? Because I'm going to tell you, you don't want people to turn the channel, which means unfollow or unfriend or block, okay? You want to still be whatever you were before, whether you were the Food Network or whatever. I think I was like the Newlywed Show to people, like people were so excited to see pictures of my husband and I. I have like a little bit of a silly humor on my Facebook. That's what people have been my friends for and appreciate me for. So I make sure to keep doing that. But I also plug in Plexus as well. So figure out your brand, what you want your brand to be. And we're all going to be different, and that's fine. But figure out a balance. and just make sure that your friends aren't coming to the channel. Okay, so like I said, don't be an infomercial for Plexus. Don't post, talk about this for just a minute. Talking about the triplex and our products is great, but do not post a salesy graphic of the triplex or of the pink drink or something like that. Instead, post a picture of yourself with the triplex or the pink drink or whatever product you want and share why you love it and what it's done for you. Okay, big difference between the two, and we need to know the difference because the graphics are very salesy. People aren't going to read them, but a picture of you that you're already your friend's friend. They know you. They want to see what's going on in your life. They're going to take the time to look at that more. Okay, so establish your brand. Who are you? What do you want to be when people view you when they're on your channel? And something else, make sure. All of us, like I said, we're going to have different brands, but something that we need to have in common, obviously, is sharing Plexus every day. And also, please, please, please do not be negative. When you go on your Facebook, don't share. I don't even care if you're tired. Don't share it on Facebook because we are Plexus ambassadors. I'm not telling you to lie and say that you have, energy to last you all day if maybe you don't quite yet. That's okay, but I'm going to tell you right now, don't go on Facebook and say you are tired, you can't focus, you don't feel good, whatever. Don't do that. That sends a horrible message to your friends, and I can guarantee you that your haters are going to be looking at that and saying, look at that, screenshotting it to their friends or whoever and saying, she's on that stuff, well, it's obviously not working. And I hate to say that, guys, but it's real. I'm telling you, I know firsthand. I've seen stuff like this. I follow friends who one day are sharing, this product, and it's not Plexus, but it's something else, and I'm not going to say it. And then the next day, they're posting their cookies and this and that. There's nothing wrong with having cheat days and stuff like that. We're normal people. I am normal still. But I don't go on Facebook and say, oh my gosh, I am so tired today. And then the next day post a picture with my edge about how much energy it gives me. Do you see what I'm saying? Right? Like, it's really contradicting. Just be very careful. Make sure, even if you are feeling tired, don't post it on your Facebook wall. Really, though. Negativity, just stay out of it. Stay out of the negative discussions, things like that. Keep your Facebook a positive place. What I want my brand to be is somewhere when people come to my page, they feel inspired, they feel happy, they want to know what I'm doing. That's what I want my brand to be. And I have friends who tell me all the time who aren't even on my business to say, your Facebook page just really inspires me. And that makes me happy. That's what I want. I don't want someone to go to my page and feel kind of down. Okay, so make sure that we're working at that. Don't make Facebook your wastebook. Keep the drama for your mama. So before you post anything, ask yourself, is this consistent with my brand? Okay, and that'll really keep you accountable, and it'll help you think, okay, before I post this, is it consistent with the brand that I want to be? And like I said, try really hard tonight if you can or by this week at the latest, establish your brand and decide, who do I want to be? I told you what I like to be, and what my aim is to be. So I want you guys to work on that, okay? And just think, what is my brand and what do I want my brand to be? Before you ever hit the post button, ask yourself, is
yes, go Plexus! Plexus Pink, yes!
Something.
Is it muted?
Oh.
We were on!
You were on what? We were muted?
Okay,
we
so.
Now we're on muted.
There we go. Okay, all right, they're muted. Okay, so that is, that's all I had for tonight. That's it. So if you guys have any questions at all, feel free to ask. And if you don't have any questions or comments, you are free to go. Bye, ladies. No questions? I'll go ahead and end it for us. Bye, guys.